Welcome to Alexandria. My palace is at your disposal. This part of the palace is at your disposal to define the parameters of the game. Before beginning a new game, please choose an avatar and an astrological sign.
In those days, in Egypt of the pharaohs, Cleopatra reigned.
How dare you! You, Ptolemy, my brother, my spouse. No one gets away with insult to a goddess. My vengeance shall be forever engraved upon the memories of mortals.
The feud between siblings plunged Alexandria into a bloody civil war, shattering my peaceful life as a student of astrology. My nights were spent gazing at the stars up on high when I discovered Iris, my pole star. She was daughter to Akkad, my mentor in astrology. But my carefree days ended with the onset of civil war. Iris refused to flee Alexandria. She wanted to help her father with a mysterious commission, an astrological divination. I could no longer see her. Our only contact was the little notes we hid for each other. But that day, as I walked into the garden of the observatory, I was oblivious to what would befall me.
Blood! What's been going on here? Iris, Akkad, where have they gone? Whoever left his blood here is seriously wounded. May Osiris come to his aid. Let's see if Iris has left a message. Yes! Thanks be to Osiris. But I don't understand this message at all. It seems to be in code. The door seems intact. No one has tried to break in. There must have been fighting in the garden, but who? Akkad's bronze pyramid. Akkad was always so evasive about what it was for. Blood. Again. Whoever was wounded here tried to flee the garden.
The report of the adventure is available in the logbook. You can access it with the report button.
The diameter is wrong.
You have several tabs at your disposal to arrange your inventory.
The celestial sphere. Master Akkad uses it for teaching apprentice astrologers about the constellations. Watch out! The side of the pyramid facing the sun is burning hot. Ow! This side of the pyramid burns like the sun. A writing case. It's Iris's and it's been damaged, but I can still use it. What's it doing on the ground? Iris would never have thrown it out. And Iris, what's happened to her? The stick has been broken in two. It looks like one of the rulers from the observatory. statue of Eros is intact. Iris always said there was nothing anywhere that could stop Eros' arrows. She's crazy. Sometimes I wonder what goes through her mind. I spoke too soon. The statue's arrow has vanished. The vegetation has been trampled as if there's been a struggle. Akkad's crown. It's been broken. A theater mask. What's it doing here?
The dialogue and commentaries have been archived. You can access them by clicking the Dialogue History button. You can move directly from one place to another using the map found by clicking the Map of Alexandria button.
Akkad's mausoleum. My master built it to house his mortal remains the day of his death. I hope that day is still a long, long way off. These hooks hold the bronze plates in place. Praise be to Anubis, gatekeeper of the abyss. Even if his mortal remains do not yet reside here, I cannot just walk in like that. There is no reason to anger Anubis on a whim. The soul rises from the tomb and is led away by Anubis to be weighed. The burden of sin leads to damnation, while good deeds bring eternal bliss. When Anubis calls, the soul of the dead rises from the grave. Praise be to Horus, master of the skies. These hooks hold the bronze plates in place. Another piece of stick. This door was sealed off eons ago. Iris's bracelet. Someone seems to have been hiding here. I must keep an eye on this wall. I don't want to get an arrow in the back. Whew, quite a stretch. A pot of bitumen. It's sticky, but still, it could be useful. You never know. Why isn't there an arrow in the bow of the other Eros statue in the garden? The arrow on this one is fixed to the statue. These hippopotamus heads are intriguing. Wait, what am I doing? I don't have time for this. The Alexandrians have gone crazy. They're killing each other day and night. When will this terrible war ever end? The leaves have blocked the overflow again. Hang on. Yes, it's a strip of papyrus. Now, how to reach it? Oh no! It's getting away! My horoscope was right. The gods are against me today. The current has swept the papyrus to the opposite bank. Let's see what's written here. It's almost unreadable. The papyrus is water damaged. It has to be dried first. The heat of the pyramid dried the papyrus in no time. The stick is as good as new. Ishtar. The papyrus rolls up easily, but the letters are too faded. I can't read them. Let's get down to it. The letters become readable when inked. The message is still incomprehensible, though. Iris is really cunning. The strip of papyrus rolls around the stick, and the letters line up into words.
They injured my father. Help us. Go into the observatory. If you can correctly name the arrow constellation, then the two places it points to, Sagittarius and Eros, will open the doors to you.
It's incredible. The strip of papyrus rolls perfectly around the stick, and the letters form words. Let's read what Iris wrote.
Thomas, my father is in danger. The man who commissioned the divination has sent a killer after him. I have to stop him.
Finally, a constellation has appeared. And there's another starting to show. I just knew little old Eros was guided by the stars. It must be possible to put an arrow there. The arrow couldn't take the impact. Only Eros could descend upon Alexandria. The war would soon be over.
The papyri discovered by Thomas have been stored. You can access them with the document button.
Eros is ready to let fly his arrow. Iris was right. Nothing can stop Eros' arrows. The secret passage was very well hidden. To think I used to pass through here every day. The passage closed behind me. Too bad. I absolutely must find the reasons for Akkad's abduction in his papyrus. Unfortunately, I can't read ancient Chaldean. The tablets are useless to me. If only Iris were here. She would know what to do. This is the room where Akkad usually works. There'll be answers to some of my questions here somewhere. This bowl is almost empty. The gods are making fun of me. Akkad's universal calendar is up to date. This is the first day of the month of Arasamu, and the 208th day of the year. Akkad must have used this wooden plank to make the machines. Strange. This rod has 9 notches. It won't be easy to find Iris and Akkad while they're rubbing shoulders with the Queen. The Heliolab. That's the only way to contact Cleopatra. My luck has changed. The tablet mold could prove useful. It's better to travel light. Locked. The door to the reception room is locked. Akkad's Heliolab. This light-emitting signal machine. He left it here. The Queen's palace is right across from here. This rod has tags in 2 sizes, big and small. The spring is tight enough now. This looks like a data table. Akkad's astronomical instruments. How many times have I filled this clepsydra, and how many sleepless nights have I spent counting time, drip, drip, dripping away? All that seems a lifetime ago. If I had time, I would measure the sun's circuit with Hipparchus's diopter. Well, there's no use me sitting here studying the shadow cast upon the polis by the sun. Now, back to work. A little wooden block. Now I know what these wooden plates are for. A large wooden block.
Not long afterwards, the soldiers came. I was taken to the palace, and I met the queen herself.
You know that it was my brother who had your master and his daughter kidnapped. Ptolemy found out. I asked him to consult the heavens. Must the daughter of the gods of Egypt ally herself with Caesar, Rome's newest master? I believe my brother wanted your master to falsify the divination. My scouts are on the trail of Akkad and Iris. Meanwhile, find the Enuma Anu Enlil, the ancient tablets of astrologers. Your master shall need them. Post haste, Thomas of Chaldea. My decision cannot wait.
Post haste? I had to be quick, to be sure. Queens are notoriously impatient, and life sometimes hangs by a thread.
The time has come for a trip across Alexandria to visit Aristion the librarian to find out about Enuma Anu Enlil. Crocodiles. Crocodiles in the garden of the Great Library of Alexandria. I can't believe my eyes. I haven't had so much as a slug of the local zythum yet. This is all that remains of the necklace of Aristion the librarian. How strange. There's something moving inside. Blood. And more blood. These tatters look horribly like Aristion the librarian's clothes. Clearly, the Enuma Anu Enlil brings bad luck to those who dare. Those crocodiles aren't Nile crocodiles. They're from the temple of Sobek, the crocodile god. What are those holy creatures doing here? What's all this stuff here by the door? A rioter must have thrown this huge stone at some poor passerby. A papyrus! Sobek, the crocodile god.
Yo, you there!
One of Sobek's guardians. May Ishtar protect me.
Aha, you're lucky, sonny boy. I see that you're not Grecian. If you had been my crocs, I'd have had you for din-dins. Damn Grecians! You're a Chaldean, right? An astrologer, I'll be betting you.
I do, in fact, study astrology.
Ah, I hope your master wasn't one of those lying Grecians. Because if he was, it'll be my crocodiles teaching the lessons today.
No, my master was also a Chaldean. But why wish for the death of Greeks from Alexandria?
Why? You ask why? Those damn Grecian mercenaries, the king's coins jangling in their pockets, sacked the temple of Sobek and killed all the priests. But they were wrong. So wrong. And do you know why?
No.
Sobek spoke to me. Sobek, the crocodile god, spoke to me! Me! Do you know what he said?
I can't even begin to imagine.
Sobek told me, kill all the Alexandrian Grecians! Kill all the Egyptian Grecians! Free the Nile from the Grecian yoke! Men, women, and children, may the crocs devour them all!
And you were with your crocodiles in the Great Library?
You betcha. When we got in there, it was pandemonium. The insurgents had started the work, and my crocs finished it off. On my command, they devoured insurgents, professors, anything in tunics, and Sobek will chomp his way through the Grecians. His vast wrath and appetite know no bounds.
Could you possibly ask your lovable croc to let me pass? I'd love to use the library.
The only place you'll pass to is the other world. I shall probably beat you. I'm an old man. My days are numbered. I need help. Are you ready to help me prepare for eternal life hereafter?
I'd love to, just so long as no one gets chomped or dismembered.
Okay, so I need some of them Ushapti thingies. When I pass away, I don't intend to work another day, let alone a whole eternity. I'm gonna work their little Ushapti behinds off. But I've only got one so far. It's very nice, but it's not enough. Get me 2 more, and the library's yours.
Sure. Eternity's a long time when there's work to be done. Where can I find these Ushapti?
Where? Go ask Anubis. I'm no haggler. Why don't you mold them yourself? You good with your hands?
Are you sure that you need so many Ushapti? Maybe one'll do.
What? I want to put my feet up in the afterlife without chipping in with the washing.
I need a model to create a clay statuette. I'll bring them right back. I'm no friend of Hermes. This one here has a bone to pick. Better keep my distance. Be brave, but not reckless, like Iris says. The mold is too soft. It's not gonna work. Let's monitor the baking of this piece. The baking is complete. The piece should be removed from the fire. Fire is dying. I need a more flammable fuel. Let's monitor the baking of this piece. The baking is complete. The piece should be removed from the fire. Fire is dying. Got it. Now to start on mass production. It's better to travel light. I'm an astronomer, not a sculptor. Let's monitor the baking of this piece. The baking is complete. I need a more Let's monitor the baking of this piece. The baking fire is dying. monitor the baking of... The baking is... Let's monitor the... The baking is... Well, that was the last Ushapti. The old man can rest peacefully in eternity now. Here, I brought you the Ushapti.
Thank you, Chaldean. So, what was your request again? I forgot.
To pass through. I'd like to pass through, that's all.
And I want to pass away, but I'm repeating myself. Oh, sometimes I think I'm going crazy. I hope I die before I go completely off my chariot.
You aren't feeling so hot then.
Oh, one last thing. I'm still not ready for that soul-weighing malarkey. I have some unfinished business before I hokey-cokey with Anubis. Help me.
All right, what else you need?
I need to build a reenactment of that whole soul-weighing business. Find me the statuettes of the 4 gods and place them correctly on my casket.
Why are you so worried about the weighing of your soul? A faithful servant of Sobek like yourself has no need for statuettes.
Hey, don't be so cocky. I want to be ready, so bring me the statuettes of the 4 gods.
I see what you mean now. You're not in such great shape after all. You suffer from memory loss.
My days are numbered, so hurry up.
Akkad must have made provisions for the weighing of his soul. I must enter the mausoleum to find the famous statuettes requested by Sobek the Guardian. But I don't like having to cross this threshold. I was born at 1. At 3, already a man I was. At 5, I was aged, past my prime. When 9 shall chime the hour, the tomb gates shall open. It's done. The Clepsydra is full of water. It's done. I'll pour in the equivalent of an hour from the Clepsydra. The water of the Styx shall grant me access to the kingdom of the dead. It's done. Could the gods be conspiring against me? This bronze stopper is faulty. This mausoleum is as dingy as Anubis's kingdom. Osiris resurrects the light with the dawn of each new day. It's odd. The frieze on Akkad's tomb shows Iris at the helm of a solar bark headed for the kingdom of the dead. I think I found what I was looking for. The depiction of the soul-weighing ceremony. Isis, wife of Serapis, is depicted on the left. Thoth, god of knowledge, is standing to the left of the scales. Anubis, guardian of the dead, is standing to the right of the scales. Horus, son of Osiris, is depicted on the right. Why is there an astrological sign on each of these portals? What do you know? Iris again. There are 4 demons guarding this gate. But why does Iris feature in this fresco? She's crossing the threshold of the sacred gate right under the noses of the demon guardians. 2 bearers on the bridge of a solar bark. Why is Iris in this fresco? She's Isis, wife of Serapis and mother to Horus. Thoth, god of knowledge and protector of the scribes. Anubis, guardian of the dead at rest. Horus, god of life eternal. This is the same box the Egyptian had. It must be part of the soul-weighing ceremony. This one seems to fit. This one seems to fit. Each of the statuettes seems to be in its rightful place this time.
Ah, thank you, my young friend. So you did find my statuettes. Please do carry on. Show me how they weigh the soul. Congratulations, young Chaldean. You may now proceed, but under one condition. Don't touch any of the documents from the library or I'll throw you to the crocs. Ah, yeah, my croc. Ah!
The Hall of Honor of the Great Library. So where's the secret room Aristion was talking about? If my memory serves me well, these are crocodile eggs, protected by the Guardian, surely. The riders did a good job with this grappling hook. Luckily, the fire didn't spread to inside the library. That would have been a complete tragedy. The anarchist must have forced the doors open with his digging bar. I'm not sure history will remember the name of the Ptolemaics, but the Great Library will never be forgotten. How odd. This column was painted to look like marble.
Hello there. Thomas of Chaldea. That's your name, if memory serves.
But how do you know my name?
Oh, you, a great astrologer, stoop to question a poor slave? The gods work in mysterious ways. I am Cordax, obedient slave to the family of the great Ptolemy, who has put Egypt to the pyre and slaked it with blood. At your service.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, but I'd appreciate an answer to my question. How do you know my name?
I spied you in the royal palace in the company of one Akkad. The entire court bowed before the divinations of your master. Do you remember?
And you? Where were you? I didn't see you.
Why do free men never even notice slaves? We're not invisible, you know.
Do you play an instrument?
Well, not quite. I'm more like a royal entertainer of the pharaonic scions. You know us well. Jugglers, asp charmers, and jesters who perform antics for the amusement of the living gods, goddesses, and deities who rule over the Nile.
What happens to you? Your body is...
Deformed. The truth hurts me not. Yes, I am shaped for sportive tricks to help mortals pass away the idle hours. But when have men not slaved for the gods?
Whatever do you mean by that?
They broke my unfinished bones and turned the infant I was into a chimera, a monstrosity to beguile the masses. And were they ever right? I became famous.
And what is a courtly slave doing here at the Great Library?
To cut a long story short, I carved my way through the pandemonium. But I had no time to enjoy my newfound sanctum, for I ran into a crocophile, bent on purifying Egypt of every Grecian stain.
Are you Greek?
Since you ask, yes. Athens born. My family was ruined, so I was sold into slavery to pay off outstanding debts. Blood is thicker than water, some say. I'm not one of them.
A sad fate.
No, not so fast. It gets better, I'm sorry to say. Couldn't you intercede on my behalf and have a word with the old fool?
What drove Sobek's guardian into madness?
Greek mercenaries sacked Sobek's temple. And then, of course, he's an Egyptian.
What do you mean?
Since Alexander, the Greeks have ruled over Egypt and afflicted the Egyptians with their taxes.
Have you ever met Aristion, the librarian?
Yes, at the palace. He's an acquaintance of the queen, shall we say.
And here?
I suspect he had a long and dolorous heart-to-heart with a crocodile.
I promise to take up your case with Sobek's guardian.
Thank you, Thomas. Save me, and I will be forever indebted to you.
Did Cleopatra hire you?
Happily, that was not the case. May Bess watch over me.
Why do you say that?
Her servants often meet horribly tragic ends. Avoid her like the plague. She's as sly and cruel as an asp.
Your words surprise me. Her reputation is quite the opposite.
Oh, the royal palace of Alexandria is a nest of vipers. You have no idea what I have seen. As for her reputation, it's the propaganda of her devotees, a web of lies.
I have difficulty believing you.
Ask the stars if you so doubt me. Listen to me well. If you value your life, turn your back on Cleopatra.
Hasn't she said her only reward is what is best for Egypt?
Oh, none so blind as those who will not see. It's power she desires, and to lay down with Caesar, her cursed Roman ally.
What do you know of Julius Caesar?
Oh, a fearful general. He defeated the barbarians in the far west, and his rivals in Rome. His sights are set on Egypt now. Why else would he come to Alexandria?
I thought he was after one of his rivals, Pompey, who seeks asylum in Egypt.
Oh, one excludes not the other.
What does the palace think of Caesar?
Cleopatra wanted him for a slave, hoping to do away with her own brother. She might get away with it. Few men can resist her. Are you hungry? I have but a few meager fish fillets to share.
Now that's a well-trained beast. I've been told there are secret places in the Great Library. Have you ever seen them?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised. The Greeks love backstabbing and secrecy. If I ever find them, I shall destroy them and all they contain.
Your prisoner is poor fare for your crocodiles. Why not let him free?
For a young Chaldean, you're a real bleeding heart. Shake hands with a Grecian, and you better count your fingers. Death's too good for them.
I am Cordax, juggler, entertainer, and musical virtuoso at your service.
The Egyptian won't listen to reason. He's gone crazy.
What a shame. For you as for me.
What do you mean?
You arouse my sympathy. I would have liked to help you, but I cannot.
Where there's life, there's hope. All is not lost.
Oh, hope. That's a word not bandied about by slaves.
What a shame. The room with the rare plants was completely ravaged. I need a recipient. Here I go. Neither the crocodiles nor their master can see me now. The laboratory seems to have suffered the least. This water is really cold. It must have come from a water tank. I already filled a bowl. These grain nuggets are moldy. I can't use them. I identified one of the constituents. I identified. I identified one. I identified. I identified one of... I identified... I identified... The solvent is done. If Maristion's instructions are correct, this solvent should strip off the paint.
Oh, who's my cute little Sushoes? We grew up together, you know. He's Sobek's heir.
Nice crock, nice crock. Remember, Sobek said don't eat Mr. Thomas. Eureka! This painting is coming off and I can read the numbers. The gallery runs through the column, as if you could stick a rod inside. This column is just a column. At last, I knew this column was hiding something. Damn these crocodiles, they're everywhere. The next librarian will have a lot of tidying up to do. Cleopatra could have put a few of her guards at my disposal. I have to do everything myself. I'm not Gilgamesh here.
Go on, little Sushoes. Go easy on our new playmate and show him who's the strongest here.
With this grappling hook, I could attach this rope to Sobek's scales. There you are, Sushus. Let's see how you fare against a team of oxen.
Old Sushus here doesn't understand anything but the stick. It's in the garden. Go get it.
Haha, that lumbering Sushus will do what he's told now. Better be on my guard anyway. It's not this tickling stick that's gonna stop him from getting his teeth into my leg.
Praise be to Sobek! The library of the Grecians will come tumbling down! My Suchus will topple this temple! Don't stop, Thomas! Sobek is with you!
Column won't turn anymore. The secret chamber! I'm near my journey's end! That's it, the secret room. Quick, there's no time to waste. Let's look for the clay tablets. Here they are. Iris and Akkad are safe and sound. Now let's go.
Traitor! You only wanted the tablets, not to destroy the library. You deceived me! But you'll soon join the others in Sobek's belly!
I'm trapped.
I am Kordax, juggler, entertainer, and musical virtuoso.
Did you gather those plants in the other room?
I don't know what you mean. I am but a jester, not a sage. Would that the contrary were true.
Is that what you wish for?
Oh, were I a sage, I would know the plants that conquer pain. My broken bones have knit themselves, but agony runs through them still.
Where has Sobek's guardian gone?
He headed for that secret room of yours. If only the door would close.
I may not know yours, but I fear if both our signs abide in the house of the crocodile, it cannot bode well for either of us.
Listen well. I think I have a way out of our conundrum.
The climax, Kordax. Tell me.
In my basket, you'll find a papyrus scroll with the formula of a powerful analgesic. I take it when the pain in my bones grows too strong for me to bear.
What exactly should I do?
If you double the doses, this soothing balm is a powerful sleeping draught. Use plants to compose its formula, then feed it to the crocs. Bess willing, they'll be snoozing in no time, and we can go free. All my worldly possessions fit inside this bag.
Croc treats for everyone! Sobek's staff. That old fool took it back from me. I identified one. Kordax's concoction is finished. I doubled the doses. If I mix it with some food, it should be enough to knock out man or beast. Here's something that'll send Sobek's little protege straight to Morpheus. Let's get out of here, now!
So, we got out, quick. Kordax stayed in the observatory, while I went to visit the Queen.
Bravo, Thomas. You found the tablets. You've shown courage and craft, worthy of Ulysses. You kept your promise. Egypt's queen shall too. Iris and Akkad are known to be on the island of Pharos. You surely know the price in blood paid for the freedom of this island. The rotting corpses left behind fanned an epidemic. Both sides were forced to flee. Nobody goes there now, except those madmen who made off with those you hold dear. My guards will give you an antidote, Thomas. Go to the Isle of Pharos. Free your friends and bring Akkad to me. We have the tablets. Now we need the astrologer.
Kordax put me in touch with some sailors at the dock who landed me on the Isle of Pharos.
Lighthouse of Alexandria. I have to find a way in at any price. I really hope Cleopatra's remedy against the plague works. I have to set Iris and her father free before calling for the boat. Then we'll turn our backs on this pestilent island. If I need some sand, I know where to come. If I'm trapped here, I could always sculpt a statue out of this beam. This must be the chest of the galley's carpenter. Here's the chest where the galley's sails are stored. If I meet another Egyptian who wants a statuette, I have everything I need to make one, before I stuff it down his throat. First a potter, now a tailor. It seems risking your life is the best way to pick up a trade. No sign of Kordax's friends or their boat. I hope they're within earshot of my horn. It's the same signal as the one from the Heliolab. It has to be Iris and her father. Praise be to Zeus, they're alive! Feet, make haste! Strange. This wooden frame seems like it's made to fit around a stone. Here's something for the Cyclops to chew on. War machine is no misnomer. A few more well-placed stones and these walls are archaeology. It's a piece of the plaque. I think it goes here. Well, better get the whole thing finished with straight away. Sostratos, son of Dexiphanes of Knidos, has dedicated this monument to the savior god of sailors. He who destroys this lighthouse shall fall victim to the 3 Gorgon sisters. The rest of the message broke off with the rest of the plaque. If I need some sand, I know where to come. You've got to be kidding. The ladder won't reach the top of the walls. This rigging won't withstand the traction. I'll need a peg to hold both the pieces together. And a peg for the Cyclops. Blasted fish god and the one-eyed gorilla. The peg just broke. Let's see if the Cyclops finds this to his liking. The ladder is still here. If the peg won't lock, I can release the rope just by letting go of the winch. This peg must prevent the winch from unwinding. Now then, let's attach it to the hook on the arm. I can't budge this peg. It's jammed in place. There's no way I'll trigger the Cyclops catapult. The shot was short. The counterweight on the Cyclops was not heavy enough. We could make new bags out of this. There's one bag sewn. Phew, there's nothing like sand for your ballasting needs. Now the chest is full. The Cyclops is ready for action. By Seth, the winch is blocked. The ladder is still here. Now then, let's attack. My Cyclops will make pebbles of these blocks. It's always nice to have a Cyclops around when you need one. Thanking you, Poseidon, sir. My Cyclops well deserves its name. What acceleration! But the rock didn't survive the impact. I'm gonna need a new one. I got a stone ball, but now my wood chisel is damaged. Coat of chainmail. This one is especially fine. Ah, this door should lead to the stairs. Who dares wins. Just a few hundred paces and I'll find Iris. Almost there. Don't tell me. This armored door is locked. How am I supposed to reach the top of the lighthouse now? I wasn't born a monkey or a seagull. Ares and his warriors be damned. Those idiots broke some of the weights. Mars in his anger twisted the wheels. Let's hope I can fix them. The wheel is finally fixed. The winch ring. Let's see what it was for when it still worked. Apollo's chariot. So, it's not a legend. The chariot of Apollo will take you to the top of the lighthouse. That's what Akkad told me. The text is incomplete. You, who built this lighthouse, become the guardian of the sun chariots. I recognize this name, and it seems to have unlocked something behind these discs. Only Akkad could carry out the divination for the Queen. I've got to spare myself Cleopatra's wrath. It's time to leave the city. I'll get Iris, then we'll leave this once great city to its insanity. won't take much to match my weight. 6 or 7, I guess. I should have spent more time in the gymnasium instead of studying the stars. I'm an intellectual, not an athlete. That's what Iris liked about me. This weighs a ton. These sandbags should compensate for the missing weight. I can lighten the chariot's load by leaving the bag here. Iris, where are you? What a climb! That means no second chances. The Hydra Chamber. This must be the last room in the lighthouse before the fire chamber. Iris, where in the names of the gods is she? 3 Gorgons guard the sun. Call them, and the light shall be yours. It's blocked. What do you think this winch is for? The Cyclops, Apollo's chariot, and now Hydra heads. I've got my work cut out for me if I'm going to beat Hercules to task number 12. It's the Prism from the Lighthouse. Legend has it that the ocean and the horizon can be seen in its facets from this floor. It looks like a space made for a throne or a basket. The opening is out of reach. It looks like a duct for winching a basket. Door is locked and seems indestructible. Sostratos always did choose solid weather-wearing materials. I bet they'll still be talking about this lighthouse 2,000 years from now, or throw me to the crocs.
Thomas! Is that you?
Of course it's me, Iris! Who else? Where are you?
In the last room of the lighthouse, in the fire chamber. Look, there should be a trapdoor just above you.
The fire chamber?
Don't worry, the fire's out. Listen carefully. Whatever you do, don't touch the ropes. The top of the lighthouse summit was sabotaged, and you can't use the stairs.
What? What do you mean?
Some of the ropes are tied to the beams where I'm being held at the top of the lighthouse. Do you understand?
I think so. So if I pull on these ropes, everything will collapse and hello Anubis, is that it?
Exactly. But it's more complicated than that. You still have to pull on some of the ropes.
But you just told me not to!
Some of the ropes also lift the metal panels, preventing me from getting out of the fire chamber.
What metal panels?
There are these panels in here to reflect the light, but they're blocking the exit. Some of those ropes there will raise the panels, and I'll be able to get out of here.
I think I get you. So it's up to me to figure out which of these ropes control the metal mirrors.
You got it, Thomas. You sure are a fast learner, for a man.
Haha, thanks. Consider it done. Hang on, I'll get you out.
Hurry up. I can't take it anymore.
Are you sure there are no kidnappers hiding in the lighthouse?
Those cowards ran away after locking me in the fire chamber. What about the soldiers?
They ran away too! Let's forget all about that! I have to get you out!
Just hurry up, Thomas! They might be back, you never know! Their leader scared me half to death!
Who was he? A lowlife from the slums of Alexandria who hangs out with the likes of Ptolemy?
I don't know! I didn't see his face! He had some sort of funny mask. All I know is he was a hunchback.
A hunchback? What a coincidence! I just met one of them! Then again, Alexandria does have its fair share of hunchbacks. It's all the rage right now!
Thomas, do you mind hurrying up? This hunchback is the only one I'm worried about.
Oh, and I have a remedy against the plague! You should take some!
I don't need it! My kidnappers gave me some of theirs before they left. I'm immune now.
Their master must be quite an important fellow to get his hands on that kind of medicine!
For your information, they work for Ptolemy the 13th.
I know! Cleopatra told me!
You saw the queen?
Yeah! I'll tell you about it all later! Long story!
Fine! Just hurry up!
I must free Iris. The second part of the plaque has to be here. What I need is something to sift the debris from the sand. This sieve would put a Nubian gold digger to shame. Eureka! Let's place what I've got next to the plaque. And a renowned Gorgon at that. Two Gorgon names down. The Gorgons are defeated. I'll make an offering at the altar of Theseus. The winch is unblocked. That's it. This rope lifts one of the metal panels in the fire chamber. This rope is booby-trapped. It's tied to a pillar. Come on. Heave. Oh!
Great, Thomas! One of the panels just raised. 2 more, and I can finally escape.
That's it. This rope lifts one... Come on!
A second panel has raised, Thomas. One more, and the opening will be big enough for me to escape.
That's it. This rope... Come on!
Thank you, Thomas. Thomas, at last. If only you knew how happy I am to see you. I thought I never would.
So did I, Iris. I'll never leave you again.
May Osiris protect us both. But tell me, how did you find me?
I found your messages in the garden and followed Eros' arrow, and then I used the Heliolab to meet up with the Queen.
I knew you'd come. So, what did Cleopatra say?
Well, we struck a deal. I gave her the Enuma Anu and Lil tablets, and she told me where you were.
So you do have the tablets?
Yes, well, no. The Queen's got them now.
Did you meet anyone suspicious in the Great Library?
Just a few crocodiles and Sobek's guardian, total nutcase. Why do you ask?
Well, my father told our kidnappers he needed the tablets that were hidden in the library just to buy some time. Their leader went straight off to get them.
I bet he ended up as lunch for some of those crocodiles. I still can't figure out what they wanted with you.
They wanted my father to perform a false divination for Cleopatra, saying the stars demanded her abdication in favor of her brother.
And your father refused?
Yes, he was a man with principles, not one of those opportunists at the royal court, ready to betray the queen at the drop of a hat. Let's get out of this lighthouse and go and see Cleopatra.
Are you crazy? We've got to leave Alexandria. Look around. It's civil war. And without your father, the divination is impossible anyway. Cleopatra will be furious if we show up now. Hello, remember us?
I'll perform the divination myself.
What? What do you know about the ancient Chaldean practice of royal divinations? You can't bluff your way through.
I don't need to. My father may be dead, but I shall continue his life's work. I owe it to him. I can do it.
Alexandria is steeped in fire and blood. There's no time for that. We have to leave. We must.
Please, let me perform this divination. For the sake of my father.
Why me? Okay, if it's that important to you. But how?
My father did start to initiate me into the ancient practices of the Chaldeans. I think I'm ready to perform the divination for the Queen.
You better be right, or the wrath of the Queen will be upon us.
You can chicken out if you want.
You think I'd leave without you? I'm not afraid of the Queen of Egypt. Let's go. And may Bess have pity on us.
Thank you, Thomas. I knew I could count on you. Cleopatra awaits. Let's hurry. The Queen needs her divination. There's a war raging, and we don't want to be late.
How exactly do you plan on performing the divination for Cleopatra?
Everything is almost ready. I've gathered most of the data I need from helping my father with his research.
So what's left to be done?
I have to read the tablets and make a few calculations with the instruments from the observatory.
That's it?
Yes, I can finish the rest in one night, and then we'll be ready for the Queen. Only then will we be truly free. Free to go wherever our hearts take us.
But are you sure you can trust the Queen?
What a question! After you, Cleopatra is the person I trust most of all.
Well, me, I don't get her. Half the kingdom worships her, and the other half despises her. I can't make heads or tails of it.
Thomas, why do you always need to understand everything? Queens are like the stars. They have their mysteries.
I think I prefer astronomy to astrology.
You've read too many Greek theoreticians. They're too rational. Neither the world nor men are so, believe me.
It's pointless to go over this again. We've had this talk about 1,000,000 times, and it's not really the moment to get into a debate.
You're right. It's high time we met the Queen of Egypt.
What will become of us if we can't perform the divination?
Why even consider defeat?
I prefer to have a backup plan in case the stars aren't on our side.
Well, let's just be patient about it and wait for the stars to smile on us again.
I hope Cleopatra's patience will rival yours.
Everything will go according to plan. The stars protect Egypt and her queen.
Let's go now.
You're right. Let's go meet with the Queen.
After sounding the horn, the sailors came to collect us, and we went to our audience with the Queen.
A god is dead. I'm not sure what to think, Iris. You're very young to counsel the Queen of Egypt. Nevertheless, as a token to the memory of your father, I empower you to consult the stars and reveal to me their secrets. Remember that my life and the fate of Egypt are in the balance. Leave now.
We returned to the observatory, and Iris began to decipher the ancient tablets.
I finished reading the Enuma Anu and Lil tablets. My father was right. They were absolutely necessary.
So are you almost done?
Not yet. I need to do some more calculations after dark, when I can observe some different stars.
So be it. A few more hours, and then we can perform the divination for the Queen.
Yes, tomorrow we shall be alive and free.
The gods be praised.
Thomas, tell me, why is this Kordax here?
Why? Well, I could never have reached the lighthouse without him. I'd have died, no question about it. And please, do show some compassion. He's a runaway slave.
Your bleeding heart should be more wary. I have a bad feeling about him.
Okay, so he is kind of eccentric, but I owe him.
Eccentric is putting it lightly.
Come on, Iris. What did he ever do to you?
I think it was him. Thomas, he's the one who killed my father.
That's impossible. Kordax helped me. Without him, I'd be dead.
Trust me, it's him.
But how can you know for sure? You told me your father's killer wore a mask.
Yes, he wore a mask. But no mask can hide the deformities of a monster.
He's a hunchback. Hunchbacks are like hunchbacks.
Why don't you believe me? I saw him kill my father. He is the murderer.
Calm down, Iris, I beg of you. If Kordax were the murderer, he would have done something to us by now, don't you think?
Thomas? Thomas? You're more stubborn than all the... So be it. You'll see. Yes, Thomas?
Do you need help?
Fix the Helio Lab if you want something to do. We're going to need it. And if you get bored with that, you could always send your Kordax to Hades.
Be careful, Iris. Double-check all your calculations. The Queen will give you one chance, and that's all.
Say, it's a good job you're here to remind me. 0 errors or, hello, Anubis, how are you doing? Do you think I don't realize that?
Thomas, get over here. I'm next door.
Part of the theatrical mask. These are two halves of the same mask.
Welcome, Thomas of Chaldea. I'm overjoyed you have been reunited with Iris.
Thank you, Kordax. Without your help, I'd have never reached the lighthouse.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. So, what's the plan?
Well, Iris has a divination to finish for a noble from Alexandria. And then we'll flee this city and its insanity.
A noble from Alexandria? How mysterious.
I'm afraid I can't tell you any more than that. I hope you understand.
So be it. I can help you escape Alexandria if you want. There are sailors I know who can take you wherever you like.
Thank you for the offer, but the time isn't right. What are your plans?
With your permission, I shall stay here a few days to tie up some loose ends, and then the gods can send me where they will.
Take your time, my friend. May the gods reward you. Astrology holds a strange fascination for you.
Astrology, that's not my thing. I prefer to look into the heart of men for the answers I seek.
I found part of a theatrical mask at the entrance to the observatory.
What?
You said the leader of the kidnappers hid his face behind a theatrical mask, right?
That's true, but his mask fell and shattered upon the ground.
Did you see his face?
No. He had his back to me, and the next time I saw him, he was wearing another mask.
Well, I found another piece from the shattered mask in the observatory today, but it wasn't there before.
They came back?
Or they visited when we were out.
Kordax! It's him! I'm certain of it! Why won't you believe me?
I can't believe it.
But Thomas, face the facts!
Okay. Let me talk to him.
Be careful. If I'm right and Kordax is the murderer, then it's Ptolemy who's pulling his strings. Shouldn't we try and run, not talk?
If Kordax is the leader of the kidnappers, his men must be patrolling the observatory.
May Isis protect us.
Can I speak from the heart, Kordax?
Ask what you like, my friend.
Did you notice part of a theatrical mask discarded in the room next door?
Did I? I'm the one who left it there.
What? What do you mean?
How can I put it? Friends that we are, I couldn't quite find the words to tell you I work for Ptolemy. I was hoping this clue would help you understand.
So you did murder Iris's father? I can't believe it!
It was an accident. The old fool struggled and I struck a mortal wound with my dagger. I didn't wish for his death, nor do I wish for yours, my friend. Please believe me.
But why?
Why? You seem to forget a slave must do his master's bidding, and Ptolemy is as impatient as he is merciless. I have no bone to pick with you or Iris, believe me.
So you were just going through the motions?
The only way I was going to succeed was through deception. And I must admit I have a certain gift for acting.
You could have killed me when we left the library. What stopped you?
Are we not friends?
So what is it you want then? And cut the pathos.
A divination. An itsy-bitsy divination.
What are you talking about?
A divination to forewarn Cleopatra against an alliance with Julius Caesar.
That's all?
Yes. Then master and slave can live happily ever after. See? Simple as that.
What if I say no?
My men have the garden surrounded. You may leave, but not Iris. My hunting horn will tell them when to lay down their arms.
Beware the wrath of the stars.
Oh, the wrath of the stars. You've obviously never met my master.
I need time to think.
Well, think quick. I'm not a patient man.
What were you doing in the library?
Before he died, Akkad spoke of tablets hidden in the library. Important tablets. When I went to look for them, I was accosted by that old Egyptian fool.
Why did you help me then?
Simple. Only you could find the tablets and drug the crocodiles. And, well, I liked you.
Why did you help me free Iris?
With her father gone, only she could perform the divination ordered by Cleopatra.
Why didn't you take the tablets by force when you left the library?
I need the tablets, Iris, and leverage against her. That's where you come in, Thomas.
Iris will never perform the divination under those conditions.
I know. She's her father's daughter and no mistake. She'd rather die than help Ptolemy. Unless it was your life hanging on the line, my dear friend.
Kordax confessed everything. It was his men who assaulted you.
I suppose he'd still like a false divination, so he can trick Cleopatra.
I'm afraid so. And he'll stop at nothing.
Well, he can lump it. There's to be no divination, false or true.
What do you mean?
The observatory instruments aren't accurate enough to perform the divination.
You can't perform the divination?
No, but listen. I think I know what to do.
I'm all ears.
My father built a secret observatory. I'm hoping that's where we'll find the instruments that will help us to finish the divination.
The Secret Observatory. Today's just full of revelations. And what should we do with Kordax?
It's simple. We have to stall him.
So where is this Secret Observatory your father built?
I don't have a clue. All I know is that the entrance is inside the mausoleum. But I've never laid eyes on this observatory.
Do you know how to get inside?
Right before he died, my father told me the medallions on his crown were the key, and the frescoes in the tomb would show the way. Kordax must have them now.
So we have to pluck the medallions from the crown.
Yes, and figure out how to use them.
Do you have an idea how we can stall Kordax?
Let's kill him. I must avenge my father's death.
But Iris, I've never killed anyone. And I'm not in the mood. Let's just stall him for a while and may the gods have mercy on him. Please, listen to reason.
Though I wish for his death with all my heart, I do see your point. We have to incapacitate him, for the time being. We need poison.
You want to poison him?
It'll only put him to sleep.
So how do you plan on poisoning him?
I don't know. What's he doing right now?
His routine involves eating fruits, washing his hands, and clipping his nails. I don't see much of an opportunity in all that.
I see what you mean. Unless... Yes, it's our last chance.
Would you mind letting me in on your plan? I'm having trouble keeping up with you. I am but a man, as you keep reminding me.
We poison the water in his wash bowl. When Kordax bites his nails, presto!
How about it, Kordax? Should I change the water in your wash bowl? It looks kind of murky.
Oh, with pleasure, Thomas. I dare not ask it of you after such a confession. It's not easy for a slave to start giving orders.
This one here has a bone to pick. Better keep my distance. Be brave. May the gods have mercy on his soul. He knew well enough his time had come. The soporific is ready. What a stench! perfumed liquid would put a colossus to sleep. Now I can bid Kordax good night.
Listen carefully, dear Thomas. I have learned much from King Mithridates.
Who is King Mithridates?
A great king who immunized himself against all poisons known to man and God.
The gods protected him?
No, not quite. Mithridates would take small and regular doses of poison, thereby accustoming his body to levels of poison that would fell an army.
Clever. I'm impressed.
Oh, don't use up my patience. The gods forbid anything should befall either of you.
Iris, Kordax is immune to the poison. He must be...
Like King Mithridates. Damn him! If only I had my bracelet.
Maybe you dropped it in the garden when you were attacked.
Yes. If you find it, Kordax is lost.
How so?
Kordax probably immunized himself against all the most common poisons. But my bracelet is filled with a poison not even an assassin like him has ever heard of.
But have you lost your mind? You and your bracelet will end up poisoning half of Alexandria at this rate.
No. This sleeping draft is only activated when the bracelet is dipped into a solution of Meluka bones.
Who in their right mind carries such a bracelet?
You don't know the dangers of the Alexandrian court.
Iris is right. I just need to dip the necklace in the basin. It's done. This concoction is odorless. Now I can fill up the wash bowl. Find comfort in your dreams. Half of Akkad's crown. Kordax's henchmen will leave when they hear this hunting horn. Freedom will be ours. Poison worked.
Quickly, let's look for the Secret Observatory while we can.
Yes, the Secret Observatory. Through the mausoleum, right?
Yes, the medallions in the crown are the key. Take a close look at the frescoes.
It's odd. The frieze on Akkad's tomb shows Iris at the helm of a solar bark headed for the kingdom of the dead. The two halves of the crown fit together perfectly, and 2 of the 12 zodiac medallions have fallen out. Wait a second. This medallion fits perfectly into the arms of the figurine. That's what's making all that noise. My medallions worked! Zodiac medallion has come unstuck. I finished removing all the other medallions. But why does Iris feature in this fresco? The passage is open. Let's enter the Secret Observatory. It's not wise to descend into the kingdom of Hades without a torch to light the way. I'm inside one of Alexandria's water chambers, but this one's dry as a bone. We have to fill it with water from the basins. Iris walked through the last door before the threshold to the afterlife, and not a demon in sight. The casket is decorated with the sign of Libra. I can't believe this. I think the mechanism's blocked. Someone painted this column with the sign of Pisces. This looks like a valve. Heliolites. These stones burn as hot as the sun if you get them to light. What's this gangway used for exactly? Casket is decorated with the sign of Leo. Totally empty. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. I have never seen a clepsydra like this. I'm positive these are the instruments Iris needs for her observations. This looks like a Hipparchian diopter. I've only ever heard of them. These astronomical instruments could prove useful. Oh, Iris is here. This place is great. And you've never been here before?
This was the one secret my father kept from me. His private observatory.
But why? I thought he trusted you.
Some of his colleagues became envious of his fame, and he was afraid they'd kidnap me, or worse, if they found out I knew about this place.
He was right. Many of Alexandria's astrologers are regular villains who'd sell their own mothers for 15 minutes of fame.
The instruments hidden in the observatory are unique. They're the fruit of years of collaboration between my father and professors at the library.
I've never even heard of an underground observatory. It's revolutionary.
My father told me about a machine powerful enough to lift the observation platform right up to the surface. And guess what? I think we're right next to it.
Do you know how to work the machine for lifting the platform?
This machine is Heron's invention, who also built the automats. It works on the principle of antitypes and results in the creation of a colossal force, fire and water.
Fire and water? That all?
Sorry, I've told you all I know.
There's enough here to start a fire. I think 2 doors are more than enough to get a fire started. The firebox is full of smoke. The fire needs more air. I swear I feel a slight breeze. By Horus, the hooks holding the plates in place have vanished. Of course, this must be an overflow. There is an overflow, that's right. The trapdoor is shut. There has to be a way to open it. How in Hades did this get here? There's no way I'm getting through now. A few shovelfuls straight into the hearth, and the Titan should roar into life. The firebox is full enough. The firebox is Now that the container's linked to the machine, I just have to open the valve.
For hours on end, Iris gazed at the stars. When the moon had set, the divination was complete. Cleopatra's fate had been sealed.
With help from the Master of Rome, Cleopatra was to become the greatest queen of Egypt. Her glorious reign would shine through all of history. She would rule in Rome by Caesar's side. Their son would inherit Egypt and Rome. No man or beast that walks upon the earth would ever lay a hand upon her. So Caesar shall be my ally, my king, my lover, and father to my son. Accept my deepest gratitude, dear Iris and Thomas. If you wish to return to Chaldea, a ship from my fleet shall take you, laden with gifts.
A few days later, a ship carried us far from Alexandria's shores. As for Cleopatra, her destiny was fulfilled. The Queen of Egypt succumbed to the bite of an asp, a beast that slithers upon the earth.